All right, on this episode of Bowks Talking Bouts, very excited to be talking to an individual set to compete at BKFC 41, and that all goes down on April the 29th. A fight people have been wanting to see for a very, very long time finally coming to fruition as Christine Ferea defends her BKFC flyweight title against Bec Rawlings, and great getting to talk to Christine. How's your day going there, Christine?
It's going great. It's early over here, so I've been up since 5 a.m. grinding already, getting ready for my day. So it's good so far.
Yeah, I was going to say this is a fight many people have been looking forward to for quite a while. I mean, the Ben Rothwell fight didn't pan out, but this seems like a good second, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna still. They have other main event and a co-main event, but I believe that we will be the real main event, and we will steal the show. I feel like this girl, she's tough and stubborn, and I like that because then I get to actually show some skills and talent and my own grind and what I can do in the squared circle.
Yeah, and I feel like this would be checking off quite a few boxes. Like, you talk about the ability to show off, more of your tools out there. And, I mean, after your, last title defense in August, calling for a blockbuster fight. So it seems to fit the bill in that kind of regard, too. Is this like the, quintessential fight that you could have wanted? Because obviously you were supposed to compete at Knucklemania, but things got shifted. And when we were talking, you were obviously excited to fight your opponent at the time. But you were like, oh, it'd still be great to fight Bec Rawlings. Like, that seems like the big fight. So can you kind of talk about all that? Like, is this really checking off all those boxes?
Absolutely. You got to manifest what you want and believe that your hard work and dedication pay off. And I did call for blockbuster fights. I don't mind fighting other fighters, tough fighters, different. It doesn't matter where they are at with followers and stuff. But I feel like at this point in my career, I do want the bigger names, and I do deserve the bigger names to grow my name and grow my brand. And I do believe that this girl has been on all the highest level of competition, and she will have the composure to be able to test me in that way. So every fight for me is the fight of my life, and everybody I'm fighting is the fight of their life to change their life. So I feel like the bigger names at this point make more sense for me. Now I have a few more years left in my career, and I want to make the time. I've done everything I needed to do, didn't cut corners my whole career, and I believe it's my time, and I deserve the opportunity to grow myself and my brand for my family.
Yeah, I definitely wholeheartedly agree with that. And this fight also is one of those fights that kind of like rewards longtime fans, like people who are watching from the very beginning, just with you initially supposed to be on that inaugural BKFC card and debuting on their third event. And obviously, Bec really established herself early on as both of you guys were kind of coming up. So it's really cool. It's one of those like, years in the making, and just really something that was kind of on the radar from the inception, it seemed like.
Absolutely. And I do believe that, I asked for her a long time ago, and honestly, she should have took the opportunity. Then she had a better chance of beating me than she does now. I've really engulfed myself in boxing and really started to study the science and MMA, everything that is great. There's so much talent and so much skill and technique there, but there's just a different level in boxing, and the science is real. So I believe that she picked a very tough time to challenge me, and I'm not the strongest, the smartest, and fastest I ever will be in my entire career, and it's at this point right now. I wanted this fight a long time ago, but you got to trust the process, and the universe and the promotion knew what they were doing. Everybody else knew what they were doing, so I'm glad this opportunity now on a bigger platform where BKFC is now and on the biggest fight in the entire history of BKFC. And with the names that are on there, I get to fight alongside the legends, and I think it's a perfect time to be able to shine and show what I'm made of.
Yeah, because I even remember as early, and maybe even could have taken place before this, but like BKFC for after everything kind of panned out with, the respective fights that were had on that event. Like, you were even calling for this fight back then when, she was like the Police Gazette champion and had the WBF gold. So, yeah, definitely been on the radar for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I asked she came on, it was before BKFC even had a card, and he asked me, who do I want to fight? And I was just like, Bec, because I heard that she was going to BKFC, and I knew it was legit, since she was going over to BKFC, so Britain got that fight, and if they picked Britain because she's easier to win, she's a for sure win, and, well, that's what they were thinking, Bec's team, so I've been waiting for it. It's literally been 4 years that I've been waiting for this fight, and I can't wait to get my hands on her. And, really, and she's screaming she's the queen. She's screaming that this is her house, that this is, she has that cocky little attitude and entitled. The thing is I've been loyal to my craft. I've been loyal to the company, and I've been loyal to everything surrounding this sport. And she wasn't. So I can tell that I'm a more solid, stronger person mentally, physically, and emotionally, and I'm going to overcome and overtake her completely on April 29th.
And that's interesting, like, based on the wording you're using, I would think you were alluding to her BKFC run, or rather her Bellator run, and then returning to BKFC.
Right, absolutely. She didn't stay the course. She didn't see the vision. She didn't see the growth. She didn't trust the growth. She didn't see the vision. When you're on top and you're winning and you don't leave something like that. You don't vacate a belt. You don't leave your champion position and then try to come back claiming it. It's just entitlement to me. It's just privilege. And she thinks she can just come and go as she pleases. And I call her a pillow princess. She's a pillow princess to me. She wants everybody to do the work, and she wants to shine. The thing is I'm a workhorse, grind, and I've worked for every piece of attention, and for every place I have in this game, I have had to grind to the fullest. What she gets in 2 fights, I get in 15 fights. So there's a difference. There's a difference in mental game, and she's about to see there's levels to this shit. She hasn't even seen the level of my skill, tenacity, power in the UFC. Nobody in the UFC can touch me. If they put me in a UFC fight, they put me in a bare knuckle fight against anyone in the UFC, my weight class, one above and one below, I will demolish everybody. And she's about to see that there are levels to this shit. There's levels to the mental game, physical game, skill game, everything. And she doesn't realize the sacrifice. She doesn't realize everything that's coming to her. And she waited 4 years for the build-up, and that wasn't smart for her.
I was going to say, it seems like the rate of activity and your mental edge and everything like that would be the bigger variables heading into this. Like, obviously you have great physical tools, not saying that, but it seems like you have a very, I guess, strong mental edge based on like how much you've dedicated to this. Is that a fair way to characterize it?
Right, that's what I think, and it's not even just a bare knuckle. I give to combat sports, period. But I have a passion for bare knuckle. I loved Muay Thai, and I kind of liked MMA. It was okay because I love martial arts, but I have a deep passion for bare knuckle and helping it grow and watching it bloom, and the story behind David Feldman and the company and everything that he sacrificed. I love his story behind everything. So there's a deep passion, and when there's passion involved, true passion, you can't beat that.
Yeah, and I feel like someone from your vantage point, just like I was saying before, how long you've been with the company and you're getting ready to fight on a card that understandably many are calling the biggest in the company's history. Like, I imagine it's very gratifying for you to, I guess, be growing in your own individual journey and then, I guess, see the simultaneous growth of the company alongside what you're doing.
Absolutely, absolutely. The better the company does, the better I do. So understand that. And that's the business side of everything. And decisions I'm not always, okay with, and some things I don't like. But, if the big picture is the better the company does, the better I do. So, I mean, it goes, and the better I do, the better the company does. So it's teamwork right now. It's teamwork. It's not me versus the promoter, me versus the company. No, I want the company to grow because I want to grow, and I want to, and vice versa. I'm sure they want me to grow because they want the company to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. And this seems like a big one, just with this being the, sophomore defense of the title and everything. And your legacy is already very much established. But just like I was saying, someone with, that championship pedigree that Bec Rawlings brings to the table, just previously cementing herself as Police Gazette champion and everything like that. And I'm just kind of wondering, just in saying that, like what this win would do, for your resume. Like, I mean, when you look at like the broader landscape, and like we were saying, this was a fight that you very much had your eye on. Like, what does a win like this do for the overall legacy? I would think it would be like a good statement kind of win within an already, great resume.
Absolutely. I think it'd be good because she does come from the highest level of competition, and she's experienced, super tough. I know people she sparred with in the past. I study her inside and out. I dig up her past. I dig up her old sparring partners. I do. I'm crazy with it. People just don't get it, how far I go and how much I invested. She's very, very tough. She doesn't give up. She's going to take a beating. She's going to take shots, so I have to be smart too. I have to be smart that I don't go in there and bust my hands up in the first, second round, because she's probably going to last, so she's a tough girl. Very tough, and the highest level of competition in terms of attention and spotlight. She's not going to have those. She's going to have nerves, but it's not going to be like a rookie nerve. She's going to be able to have composure and be able to think under pressure and think when things get tough and deal with my mental. I love putting the mental game on my opponents and torturing them that way. She knows how to deal with that.
Yeah, and it just seems like you have a very studious approach, like not just to like the particular next opponent you have, but just even in a general sense. Like I was seeing a couple weeks ago for Women's History Month, you were really highlighting some, cool martial artists and stuff like that, like D. Hamaguchi. I was seeing you were spotlighting. Like, how important is that to you to have that, I guess, broader, historical appreciation and understanding? It seems like you're very, I guess, studious and well-read in that regard.
Absolutely. Females, we don't get, we're still developing ourselves as athletes, as combat sports athletes, earning our respect in the game, earning our respect as being serious and professional, dedicated, and I want to give respect to the past and the current and the future. I just think it's extremely important for us to support each other. When you're my opponent, I have zero respect, and I'm not trying to help you at all. But after the fight, of course, we all know that I'm different. And before, and for fighters or in history, it made it possible for me to be here right now. And as if anybody's seen my deep cuts, everybody knows that fighting saved my life. Pretty much changed my whole life. It gave me discipline, gave me focus, gave me a purpose. So I have a lot of respect. This is priceless to me. No matter how much money I make or don't make, it saved my life. So it's important for everybody that led up to this point. Ronda Rousey, all these women from the past, made it possible for us to be here right now.
Yeah, I love that, and that really seems to come through in a lot of different regards. Like you said, there's also a very, present and forward-looking aspect to it as well. Like I saw you got some real good high-level rounds with, Michaela Mayer, for instance, and it seems like there's a good supportive dynamic with, like, Kendra Lust, too, like her kind of, supporting you and playing a role in that. So, yeah, just really cool to see that, for sure.
No, I love it, and I love Kendra Lust, man. She really gave me a lot of support, especially when I needed it. And it's great to know that she supports every female, no matter who you are, and she wants to help empower us all. and I want to give that back as well. And she's a great person. I've gotten to know her through sponsorship. Would consider her, somebody that I would love to be friends with, just not even through sponsorship, but she's a good person. So Michaela Myers, man, she's Olympian, at the highest level of boxer, the credentials and experience, and her team is just amazing to work with. She's a tough fighter. She's very, very much taller than me, so it's fun to be able to learn how to get past that with such a great boxer. I just love these women and love the independence and the respect, that we all give each other.
Yeah, for sure. Just prolific athletes getting in great work and helping elevate each other. Love to see that. And I love that you also referenced like the Deep Cuts project that you were part of. I thought that was incredibly cool and an amazing story, and just talking about how, fighting saved you, and just how you're at a point now where it's like your dream was actualized into reality of becoming a world champion. I guess this is a bit of a two-part question. Can you speak to what it was like being part of that, I guess, Deep Cuts project, and, having your story out there in that kind of regard, and then just like the general journey, like from those days to like, where you're at now as world champion?
Yeah, that was, it was pretty deep. Like, they're like, okay, we're going to do deep cuts, do some stuff, all this stuff. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's at the beginning of my camp, too, so it was like 7 weeks out. And I didn't realize, like, how it was going to bring me back to my past. Because I don't think about my past. I'm not proud of my past. I'm not happy it happened. I'm not, like, I hate it. I hate my past. So, I had to dig into it, for the show, and it was crazy. And then, the feelings that came up from it, and just to remember, it really brought back where I came from, how far I've come, I just think that a lot of people don't know my story, and they don't understand my tenacity and my image and my tattoos and all this, but there are a lot of the time, people judge a book by its cover, and they don't know the intention, and we don't know the intention. We only know by what we see on the outside, and certain clips of me fighting, or if you're on the street or you work with people or you're in school with people, you don't know their story, you don't know their background, you don't know what they're going through and trying to overcome, and I just, digging into that really, it keeps me humble. It keeps me remembering why I fight so hard, and keeps me remembering that I'm here for something bigger, and I want to be an example and give back to the universe and myself and those around me, for my shit past, is by giving back and being the best I can every day. I'm not a perfect person, and I'm not magically fixed, and I still make mistakes, but I show that you can overcome them and correct them every day as long as you keep trying, and you can come back up out of that. You're not stuck, and then it's an excuse, and you're lazy if you do.
I was going to say, was that whole experience cathartic to a certain degree? Because, I mean, you obviously seem very goal-oriented and looking towards the future, but there's also the part of it where, as a world champion fighter, like the level of, being hyper-present, I think very few people can understand. So, I mean, it would make sense that I guess you don't contemplate the past even in that kind of context, like just, getting in that day-to-day work and looking towards the next fight. So was there a level of catharsis and I guess relief, or was it therapeutic to almost reflect on just the general journey? And like you said, I mean, still human, like you're not infallible at the end of the day, but was it, I guess, therapeutic in a way to kind of reflect on the whole journey?
Yeah, it brings me back again, like I said, to my purpose, why I started this and my drive, and how deep it is. And it's more than fame, it's more than money, because you can't get caught up in that. People always say, how much do you make? It's all about money and fame to people. Like, you're not respected unless you're making hella money, or you're not respected unless you're showing your ass or something, you know what I mean? I have to remember where I came from and why I do this and what it did for me and why I have that deep passion. I just think it brought me back to my roots and brought me back to my purpose, my true purpose, and not getting caught up in the bullshit and the politics. I have to remember that, because it's easy to get caught up in that day-to-day bullshit and politic, and getting caught up in, oh, I should be making this, I shouldn't be making that, or I should be this far, I should be that far. No, I am very far. I'm lucky to be alive. So it brought me back to being grateful, humble, and that insane drive.
Yeah, I love hearing that. I mean, definitely not everything is about money and trying to get the certain social media metrics in your favor. So I guess to that point, what then, is your why? Like, it seems like obviously combat sports has, redirected your life in a very positive direction, but just where you're at now, like, what is your why? Like, obviously it's not for a particular dollar amount or a certain amount of Instagram followers like we're talking, but what is that why, I suppose?
My why is so I can have a happy life, through the dedication and focus and drive and accomplishment, I can be truly happy within. And without that, I don't know what happened to me when I was born or when I was young or whatever, but, I'm a messed up person. So this truly helps me find my place, and my happiness gives me purpose, and, it goes back to it's not all for money, but I do need to make a living, and I do want to provide for my family, and it does take followers, it does take likes, or these days to get a fight. It's crazy, but if you don't have followers and you don't put butts in seats, it doesn't matter the talent or how good you are, you're not going to be able to get a fight, So, I mean, I do have a bigger purpose and a bigger, the core of it is pure, but I still do need to make that money. I still need the likes and the follows to be able to do my job and stay in the game. So it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, no, well articulated, and I definitely, get what you're saying in that kind of sense. And I mean, that's great that you're, doing it for that sort of purpose, because, yeah, I mean, it really is at the end of the day about being happy and just trying to get towards that certain place. So happy to hear that, that's panning out for you in that kind of vein. But I guess in talking about some of the more localized aspects of fighting and what could be next, like not overlooking this challenge, obviously, because it's a fight you've wanted for a while, but you've definitely eyed that strawweight championship, it seems like you're definitely not averse to the idea of, cutting down there and trying to capture that crown. So if you get your ideal outcome in this next one, would the idea be to continue defending that flyweight title, or could we see Christine Ferea knuckling up and towing the line for the strawweight belt, perhaps?
I put it out there. I want to take that belt, and I do want to be a multiple weight class champion. That would be amazing. If that's possible, I'm down for it, and I'm ready to do that. If I have to move down or up, I can do either or. I can do anything I put my mind to, period. So I want it, and I don't think the Ratchet deserves it. So I think that if she doesn't stop running her mouth, I might just go down. I might not even move up, because moving up for me would be easier. The bigger challenge would be me moving down. That would be huge, because I'm big, even for 125. So moving down to 115 would be very, very hard for me, and I'd rather move up. But like I said, if that Ratchet over there wants to keep running her mouth and not put respect on my name, then I'm going to have to go over and try and teach her a little bit more respect, because she obviously didn't learn the first two times.
I was going to say the fight nutritionist might be getting a few texts through that camp, I would think, eh?
I'm sorry? What did you say?
I was just saying the fight nutritionist would probably be getting a few texts during that camp. That seems to be yeah.
Oh, she gets enough right now. She would hate me. She would probably fire me. Because that would be a tough one. That would be a huge... Ooh, that one would be hard, but I don't mind. I don't mind a challenge. We all know that, so I would not mind taking that on.
Well, I mean, the idea of you moving up is also compelling now that you say that. But I guess one of the last questions that I had, because I was seeing an article where you were giving a prediction for your Knucklemania 3 fight when that was the scheduled bout, and you were very succinct in your prediction, which I appreciated. Your prediction was blood. What is your prediction for this fight? Is it similarly succinct?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm preparing for war. This what I'm preparing for in my camp is entertainment. I want to entertain, and I want to show who could take more. She cried about. She wants to cry about Bret Hart running. You know what I'm saying? The whole fight. Let's see what she does when she gets cracked. Let's see what happens when she has to stand toe to toe with me. Is she gonna run? Oh well, I don't know. The kangaroo, she's tough. But let's see how tough. Let's see her heart. I want to test her heart. I want to see what she does when standing right there in the pocket. Let's stand in the pocket. Let's bang. And that's what I want to do. I want to entertain, and I want to test her heart. You want to be the queen? You want to go around saying you're this, you're that, and not putting respect on me, not referring to me as who I am and what I earned as a champion and the queen of BKFC? Then now you're going to have to pay for it, and you're going to have to earn it. And if you beat me, I will give you all the praise in the world, because I know for a fact that I've given everything, and I'm strong and I'm fast and I hit hard as hell. So if you can overcome that and be smarter and endure what I'm about to give you, you earned every moment. And I hope she can take it, because I do want some blood. I want to test myself. I don't know how many more fights I have left in me. I don't know how many years or what I have left. We never know what day it is that we're going to be taken from this earth. I want to know what my limit is, and I hope she tests it. So I am going in there to bang, and I'm not going to let these guys steal the show for me. I'm here to represent for the women. I'm here to put it on the line. I'm being paid to put it on the line. I got sponsors and fans and coaches and everybody here supporting me. And for me to bitch out in the fight is disrespectful. And for BKFC.
I was going to say, it's getting me fired up. I feel like I can run through a wall right now, but I appreciate you.
Yes.
No, that's awesome, but it's always great getting, the insights from you. I feel like your fight IQ and where you're at in the sport just really leads to me having so many questions. But that being said, I want to be mindful of your time. I know you have a busy schedule, Christine, so to that point, is there any final parting thought you might want to add as we're wrapping things up here?
No, I'm just, grateful, grateful for all the support and the opportunities I've been given. By BKFC, the support from the fans and the sponsors, my family, my girlfriend, just everybody that's there for me keeps me strong throughout. And I just thank everybody. That's all I really want to say and do.
Well, it's awesome. Definitely a great parting thought for sure. And I mean, very much was excited for this fight prior to talking to you, but definitely has grown. I mean, this Bec Rawlings fight definitely going to be one that'll steal the show. And like I was saying before, it's one of those fights that really rewards the long-time BKFC fans. It's been so long in the making, and finally will come to fruition April 29th. So to that point, thanks so much for making time to come on the show and give those great insights. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day, Christine, and just looking forward to checking out the fight when it goes down too.
Awesome. I look forward to it as well.